Hey guys, Henry here from Carnivore Capers. Today is day 40 of the carnivore diet. Now, where am I at so far? Alright, well, let's go with the weight loss straight away. So far, I've lost about 8 kilos, heading down to 9 kilos, which is about 17 pounds. And I've also noticed that I've actually had to drop a belt notch. In fact, I was already on the last belt notch, so I had to actually add another belt notch in there. I had to put another hole in the belt so that my belt would actually fit me, which is great because that way my pants aren't falling down from me. I was 106 kilos, now down to 98 kilos. Actually, I think it's 97.9 now, so even better. So that's one of the things that I find that's been the most exciting to me, is that it's measurable. The carnivore diet is working, and it's working well. When I'm at work, I work for a hardware store in Australia, the biggest hardware store chain in Australia. Now, I know if you're an Australian, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. Anyhow, I work at the front end, usually serving customers, doing like I don't call myself a checkout chick, I call myself a register rooster. So I serve customers who usually use the registers. I often operate the service desk, and I'm often in charge at night time. So with that, I have to run around and at night time and various times grab trolleys. And that can actually be quite a strenuous bit of timing. And it's good because it helps to give me exercise, which is fantastic. I love doing it. In fact, most of my team fight over who's going to be doing it. We all love doing it. It's really weird. What's some of the downfalls when it comes to the carnivore diet? Well, I did notice for a while I was suffering with a lot of insomnia, and I couldn't figure out why. And some days I'd have really good sleep, other days I wasn't. I'm going, what is going on here? Anyhow, one thing I noticed was I was watching somebody online the other day, and they were saying that if we are suffering with insomnia on the carnivore diet, it's because we are lacking tryptophan in our diet. Now, tryptophan can be found in things like tuna, salmon, and also sardines. Chicken also is fairly high in it as well. Now, if you don't incorporate that sort of stuff in your diet, you may be struggling with insomnia as well. I myself have found that when I ate tins of sardines and was having tuna, I slept like a baby. But when I wasn't having that sort of stuff for lunch, I found that I wasn't sleeping as well. Like, I went a week just recently where I didn't have any in my house, so I didn't actually go out and get any either. So that week I slept really badly. And remembering, it was only just 2 days ago I found out about tryptophan. Prior to that, I had no idea. I had no idea that was a potential risk without having that. So if you're having insomnia, if you can handle fish, try getting salmon, tuna, or sardines, because they will help you. Now, if necessary, if you can't handle fish, eat chicken. Have at least one bit of chicken every day, just to help you out to be able to sleep better at night time. And if you can, turkey is even loaded higher with it. If you can eat turkey, then grab some turkey, because it is absolutely loaded with tryptophan. You know, when you have a Christmas dinner and you have some turkey at Christmas dinner, and you're always, after you've had your big meal, you're always feeling a little bit tired afterwards. Well, that's why, because of the tryptophan that's inside the turkey. So if you can get your hands on turkey and cook that up and have some of that every day, then you'll find that you will sleep really well that night. Now, another thing that I've discovered is that my depression has completely gone away. I was suffering with deep depression, and although I had videos on another channel, I would never show it, I was suffering with a lot of depression. And it was coming through on the fact that I wasn't making as much content. And because of that, one of the content suffering, I went almost 2 months without making any kind of videos and stuff like that. So it was really, really bad. So one thing I've discovered is that the carnivore diet has helped my depression. It's completely gone. It's so good. Yesterday at work, I nearly slipped. I went up to the lunchroom, and while I was there, I went to make myself a cup of coffee. Yeah, I still have coffee. I know some people don't, but I still do. And they don't have cream, so I have to put milk in, unfortunately. But saying that, I went over, grabbed a cup out of the cupboard, went straight over, and the first thing I picked up was the sugar bowl. And I put a couple of scoops of sugar in my cup before I was going to grab the coffee. Luckily, I looked down at what I did and I was like, what? Why am I putting sugar in my cup of coffee? So I immediately tipped it out, made sure there was no granules left in there, and then closed it up and put it away and grabbed my coffee and scooped it into my cup. So, instant coffee, of course. And I was like, oh my gosh, I nearly slept. So, beware. I just went into automatic pilot. So clearly, not having sugar in my coffee has not fully become muscle memory for me yet. So hopefully that'll happen sometime soon. Now, another thing I've noticed is that my sinus issues. I used to suffer really, really bad sinus migraines. Now, stupidly, what I would have to do to get rid of this sinus migraine, I would take 6 ibuprofen. I found that if I took Panadol, I felt sick as a dog and I would throw up, and it would just make matters worse. So I found that I could take 6 ibuprofen. Now, before you go jumping down in the comment section saying, are you an idiot? Don't take ibuprofen. I'm well aware of the dangers of taking ibuprofen. One, it can really stuff up your liver. It can give you heart issues. It's got a whole bunch of different things that it can actually do to your body. But saying that, I have not had a sinus migraine since starting the carnivore diet. I've had a few headaches, but nothing to that degree. And usually all I do is take 2 aspirin. And by taking those 2 aspirin, I'm able to get rid of the headache really quickly. Which is like, thank you, Jesus. Because it helps me to be able to function throughout the day and still be able to do my job. And be able to do other things around me as well. Like create videos. Okay, now next month, I am going away. My wife and I and my son, we're all heading down to Brisbane. And that's about a 6-hour drive. Now, with that, it's going to be interesting because I know that I can cook up a decent amount of beef jerky to take with me as snacks on the drive, because quite often I snack when I'm on the trip, when I'm driving, to stay awake. Now, with that being said, in the past, I used to grab big bags of lollies, or candy as Americans call it, and I would just chew on that all the way down to Brisbane. And then, on the way back, I'd have another bag of lollies and just chew on that on the way back. Absolutely atrocious for any kind of diet. So, I know that I'm going to be taking some homemade beef jerky that I'm going to be creating. And I'm going to be taking pork rinds with me. And I just can't think of any other carnivore snacks that I can take with me. Now, if you know of any other carnivore snacks that I could possibly make or buy or something like that, please leave a comment in the description down below. I can't buy carnivore chips over here in Australia because they just don't ship over here. So carnivore chips are kind of out of the question. But if you have any other ideas that I can use to be able to, because it's a 6-hour drive and I'll be doing probably most of the driving. So if you can give me some tips and tricks and ideas as to the type of snacks that I could make to take with me on the trip, that would be amazing. I thought about having carnivore deviled eggs and taking that. But then I googled up, can you freeze eggs? And apparently the egg whites become quite disgusting if you freeze them. So I was like, okay, I'm not doing that. So that's not an option for me. However, please come up with ideas so that I can eat this, so I can be snacking on the way down for my family's personal safety. Alright, so that is the carnivore diet for the moment. Day 40. And I'll let you know a bit more. Now, I did put on a little bit of weight after having my hamburgers. I had some carnivore hamburgers. Now, I knew it was calorie dense, and I had 2 instead of 1. And I knew that there was a potential I could put a little bit of weight on, and I did. Unfortunately, I put like half a kilo back on after eating 2 hamburgers. The next day I woke up, weighed myself, and I went back up again. I was like, oh no. I'm almost back down to where I was. I think I'm down just a little bit more now. So I've lost that again, praise God. So be aware that when you do things like having carnivore hamburgers, carnivore pizza. Oh yes, I'm also going to be taking some of my carnivore pizza with me, so I can do that. I know I can take some of that with me, freeze it up, and take it with me. So if there's anything else that you can think of that I can make, that I can freeze up until I go away in a month, and then take that with me on the trip, please let me know, because I'm at a loss. I have no idea. Alright guys, if you got some value out of this video, or even if you just like the video, please consider smashing the like button, as well as subscribing and also hitting the bell icon so you can be notified when we upload more videos. Hey, wait a minute, why not consider sharing, and also leave a comment down below, and please, please, please let me know of any carnivore snacks that I could make to take with me on the trip, besides beef jerky and also the pork rinds. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.